The U.S. State Department recently announced the launch of a new website dedicated to reporting on the CCP's abuses of human rights. The website, China's Disregard for Human Rights, highlights the CCP's human rights crimes in Xinjiang, Tibet, and Hong Kong. The State Department declared that the United States will always stand with those deprived of their basic rights. The CCP's suppression of religious freedom is one of the main topics on the website. The PRC government is one of the worst abusers of religious freedom in the world and is openly hostile to members of all religious faiths, including Uyghur Muslims, Tibetan Buddhists, Christians, and Falun Gong practitioners.
The
CCP's live organ harvesting from Falun Gong practitioners has lasted for 20 years. In Xinjiang region, millions of Uyghur minority residents are detained in internment camps. In Tibet, the oppression and persecution of Tibetans have led to more than 150 Tibetans killing themselves by self-immolation. Behind these figures, every case is an evil crime and a serious human rights violation. Fortunately, the United States has launched this website, which allows a detailed recording of the CCP's human rights abuses to publicize these evil crimes.
U.S.-based China expert Zhang Jian said it is a very good and creative idea for the U.S. State Department to set up a new website because the public gets to learn about the CCP's human rights violations from a trusted official channel.
In the future, for all the persecution cases happening in China, the U.S. State Department will be able to get first-hand information and publish it on its official website speedily. This is a very effective method to help everyone learn about the CCP's human rights abuses almost real time and find out how many evils are being committed in today's China.
At a recent press conference, China's spokesperson of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs denied the suppression of freedom of speech and religion, claiming that dissidents and religious groups are protected by law.
China's spokesperson of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs tried to defend the CCP. However, we all know that the CCP has burned down numerous churches, destroyed countless temples, and arrested a huge number of religious believers. The CCP has indeed persecuted many underground Christians and killed many religious believers and Falun Gong practitioners. These are undeniable facts that no one can erase simply by telling lies as a spokesperson.
China's spokesperson also claimed that the Chinese authorities pursued a people-centered concept of human rights and achieved a historic improvement from poverty to adequate food and clothing to a well-off life for 1.4 billion Chinese people. Analysts point out that the Chinese authorities have used these same lies to deceive the Chinese people for 70 years.
Some Chinese have indeed become rich, but the reason behind it is nothing more than the global open policy. Democratic countries gave the CCP a chance to develop so the people could benefit. However, the CCP claims that it is the leadership of the CCP that has brought peace and prosperity to the Chinese people. That is completely untrue and violates basic logic. There is indeed racial discrimination in the United States, but it is not at the state policy level. In China, it is a systematic discrimination because the CCP sets laws to discriminate against certain groups, and the law enforcers implement these rules accordingly. As long as someone's behavior is considered to have affected the CCP's governance or image, this person will be targeted by law enforcers. This is especially true for those ethnic minorities who are suffering a more severe persecution. Therefore, the discrimination in China is completely different from that in the United States.
China's spokesperson also claimed that the fact China has been elected to the UN Human Rights Council for the 5th time indicates that the international community highly recognizes the progress China's human rights cause has made and China's active participation in global human rights governance.
The fact that the CCP can obtain a seat in the UN Human Rights Council actually serves as evidence on how serious the CCP's penetration is in the international community.
Chinese-Canadian writer Sheng Xue points out that the CCP always uses money to influence small countries and gain their votes so that the CCP can have a position in international society. The CCP will then use its improved international influence to continue its deception.